Ephraim Emerton was an American educator, author, translator, and historian prominent in his field of European medieval history. Early life and education. Ephraim Emerton was born in Salem, Massachusetts, to James and Martha West Emerton. His elder brother was James Henry Emerton, naturalist and arachnologist. At the age of 20, Emerton graduated from Harvard College. He continued his postgraduate education in Germany and received his doctorate from the University of Leipzig in 1876. Returning to Massachusetts the following year, he married Sybil M. Clark of Cambridge and accepted a teaching position at Harvard. Academic career. Emerton served at first as an instructor in both history and German language. He eventually became Harvard's foremost professor of ecclesiastical history and served on the faculty for 42 years. A devout Unitarian, he taught at the Harvard Divinity School, and most of his writings deal with religious figures and issues. In 1882, he was appointed to a Harvard chair as Wynne Professor of Ecclesiastical History, the first such professorship bestowed by the Wynne Financial Endowment. In 1884, Emerton became one of the founders of the oldest and largest historian society in the United States, the American Historical Association. Throughout his life he was active in numerous academic organizations, including the New England History Teachers Association, the Massachusetts Historical Society, the Essex Institute, and the American Academy of Arts and Sciences, of which he was a fellow. Emerton retired from teaching on September 1, 1918, and he was granted the title of Professor Emeritus. In his retirement he continued his historical research and translation work. He remained active with academic groups, and in 1921 he accepted the position of president of the Cambridge Historical Society. He died at his home in Cambridge on March 3, 1935, at the age of 84. Works. The Dutch theologian Erasmus was the inspiration for Emerton's Desiderius Erasmus of Rotterdam, first published as one section of a multi-author compilation called Heroes of the Reformation. Published as a standalone book in 1899, it is regarded by scholars as his greatest historical work. Emerton frequently contributed to larger works, writing articles for books, journals, and even the New York Evening Post. He was an authoritative contributor to the New International Encyclopedia and provided the full entries for Erasmus and the Papacy. Emerton also authored several widely read textbooks for high school and college students, including Medieval Europe, 8141-300, and an Introduction to the Study of the Middle Ages, which were highly acclaimed by his contemporaries. Professor Emerton's texts were standard reading within the American educational system for decades after the publication. A facility for languages never left Emerton, and the translation of medieval German and Latin texts to contemporary English language was his special occupation. One of his most enduring efforts is a translation of the Letters of St. Boniface, the last work published before his death. Emerton's body of work includes book Synopsis of the History of Continental Europe, 800-1250. Cambridge, W. H. Wheeler, 1880. OCLC 19021084. Medieval Europe, 8141-300. Boston, Ginn & Amp Co., 1894. OCLC 391878. Retrieved 13 October 2014. An Introduction to the Study of the Middle Ages. Boston, Ginn & Amp Co., 1899. OCLC 560266601. Retrieved 13 October 2014. Desiderius Erasmus of Rotterdam, New York. G. P. Putnam's Sons, 1899. OCLC 312661. Retrieved 13 October 2014. Unitarian Thought. New York, Macmillan Co., 1911. OCLC 1,403,642. Retrieved 13 October 2014. Beginnings of Modern Europe. Boston, Ginn & Amp Co., 1917. OCLC 484,803. Retrieved 13 October 2014. The Defense Apaces of Marsilio of Padua, A Critical Study. Cambridge, Harvard University Press. 1920. OCLC 257,462,319. Retrieved 13 October 2014. Learning and Living, Academic Essays. Cambridge, Harvard University Press. 1921. OCLC 697,952,360. Retrieved 13 October 2014. Humanism and Tyranny, Studies in the Italian Trecento. Cambridge, Harvard University Press. 1925. OCLC 1,561,687. The Correspondence of Pope Gregory VII. Selected Letters from the Registrum. New York, Columbia University Press. 1932. OCLC 1,471,578. Retrieved 13 October 2014. The Letters of St. Boniface. New York, Macmillan Co., 1934. OCLC 499,912,626. Retrieved 13 October 2014. Pamphlets, booklets, articles. The Calvin Celebration, 400th anniversary of his birth. The Evening Post, New York Evening Post Co., 1909. OCLC 171,293,674. Fras Alambine and the Franciscan Ideal. Harvard Theological Review. 8, 480-503. 1915. DO1 10.1017 per second 001781600009196. JSDOR 1,507,265. D.Esther Weg, Friedrich Adolf Wilhelm, The Historical Seminary in American Teaching. Methods of Teaching History. Boston, Ginn, Heath, and Amp Co., pp. 11-200. Other papers of Ephraim Emerton, 1891–1930, a collection of notes and lectures including a sound recording, is in the permanent collection of the Harvard University Library.